Hey, what's up, guys? Matt with OddsJam. And what we're going to do in this video, we're just going to bet some baseball. So we got about exactly 10 MLB games today. So that's well enough of a slate in order for us to find some pretty profitable betting opportunities. Of course, the first place that I always go to is the OddsJam Positive EV page. That's where I find all my bets. That's where this page provides opportunities and where you can get an advantage over the sportsbook. Generally, the sportsbook has the edge over you, which is the VIG that they charge, which I'll get into a little bit later. So using a tool like the Positive EV page is where you can find an edge over the sportsbook. The way it works is this OddsJam line you see here is pulled from the most accurate bookmaker in the world in terms of pricing odds. They accept sharp action, they accept higher limits, and they accept money across multiple different countries. So generally, this sportsbook is going to have the most efficient betting market, and it's going to be an accurate representation of what the odds should be priced at. So anywhere in which you see an OddsJam line here is going to be viewed as the quote-unquote true line. Of course, before you can do anything, it's important to remove the VIG. The VIG, as I just mentioned, it's the juice that sportsbooks price up odds themselves. It's how they make their money. That is the edge that they hold over the market, is by charging the VIG. So the standard odds for a game like a spread is minus 110 on each way, right? Basically, the math behind that, you have to bet $110 to profit 100. So if there's two bettors that bet $100 on opposite sides, right? The sportsbook is going to profit $10 from that interaction, regardless, no matter who wins. So multiply that $10 by millions of bets and millions of dollars, and that's how they make their money. So in order to get an accurate representation of what a market is priced at, you need to remove the VIG. And in this case, the VIG is priced at like plus 163, and anywhere in which we would be getting more favorable odds, higher odds than plus 163 would be positive expected value. In this case, we can on Betway and on DraftKings at plus 175. The market width, this is something that I use a lot to determine whether how much I should put on a bet and whether a bet I even take is priced or has 22 cents. Market width really just measures the difference between these two lines, and the lower the number equals more confidence. Basically, the more confident the OddsJam line is in what they're pricing their odds at, the closer those two numbers are going to be together. So market width literally just measures that difference. And then this last number here, this percent, of all the math that I've talked about, all the numbers, this is the most important one, this 4.59%. This is going to be your percent, your edge, your mathematical profit margin. So basically, for every $100 bet on this bet, you could figure to make $4.60. So it doesn't sound like a lot for one individual bet, but you have to remember that's when you're placing 10, 15, 20 bets a day for even more than $100, depending on your bankroll. The $4.60 on one bet multiplied by 20 is kind of shows you how much money you can make on a given night from positive EV betting. So this percent is incredibly, incredibly important. So everything checks out from a math perspective, right? It's positive EV, which is why it's on this page in general. Its market width is at 22, which is good. The EV percent, 4.6, is good. Now what I like to do before placing a bet is just open the odds up, right click, open link in a new tab. And what this does is show you the odds for every book and what they have pricing at for this market. So I have the total runs for the Rangers versus Athletics, and I have the price here for the over 10, which is what we are betting. Every other book has it closer to the OddsJam line. So plus 155 is the OddsJam line. Plus 175 is what we're going to end up betting it at on DraftKings. No other book has above plus 160, which is Caesars. Every book has it closer to the OddsJam line. So in this case, what we're doing is we're just betting on an outlier. The logic here is that the most accurate bookmaker, along with every other book, has this priced in the plus 150, plus 155 range, whereas Betway and DraftKings have it at plus 175. So this, to me, shows me that this is a true outlier that we should be taking advantage of. So in terms of unit sizing, I just go off of the Kelly criterion method. So this is roughly a $65 bet. For unit sizing for you out there, it's roughly 2.6 units, 2.5. You can kind of round it however you want. But this is going to be a $65 bet for me. So let me go ahead and lock this in on DraftKings, place bet, and we are good to go there. So now what I need to do is just add this to my bet tracker. So you click here, add to bet tracker. I ended up putting this in on DraftKings, put it for $65, click save, and we are good to go. So the OddsJam Bet Tracker is completely free to use. It's a super helpful tool. So yeah, it doesn't cost any money, and it shows you whether your bet, these are all my pending ones, whether your bet is red or green in terms of beating the closing line or not. So basically the closing line, this number here, CLV, is just the no vig odds of the OddsJam line. So odds obviously change a lot over time, and if your bet is no longer beating the closing line, then it'll show up as red. So this is a good way to tell you how many of your bets are still positive and still beating the closing line. So definitely recommend signing up for the OddsJam Bet Tracker. And then just from a handicapping perspective, looking at the matchup between these two teams, I don't do a ton of handicapping on these videos because I don't want to get too in depth with it on the video, but we just see two really bad pitchers. Spencer Howard, one decision, 11 ERA, only 14 strikeouts. Adrian Martinez, 6 ERA, 3 decisions. Two really bad pitchers. So getting an alternate total, which again is pretty high at 10 at plus 175 odds, I think is a pretty good bet. So this is going to be my favorite MLB bet for me today. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you're tailing. Comment on the video if you're tailing. Other than that, please remember to like, share with your friends, and then subscribe to the OddsJam YouTube channel. But that is all I got for you. So thank you guys for watching, and have a good one.